Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today this video is on everything you need to know about routing. After watching this video, you'll be able to know all the pros and cons of routing, and also you'll be able to decide if routing is actually worth it for you or not. And if that's what you're looking for, then let's get straight into the video.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
A short disclaimer, this video is not a step-by-step tutorial on how to route. Instead, this video is more about the pros and cons of routing. Also, the process of routing for all phones are different, and the only things that's similar are the basics. So there's no point of making a route tutorial that works for every phone, but what I can tell you is all the important informations that you need to know before considering routing. So this video is divided into 6 parts, and the first one being what is route. The second one, how does routing increases your phone's performance. Third, what are the risks of routing. Fourth, if you're willing to route, then what you need to do. Fifth, my personal experience on routing. And the last one, who should route their phone and who should not. And if you'll end up liking this video, then please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, because we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and trust me, you're not going to regret it. So the first question being, what is route? Routing is basically getting a super user access. That means you'll have a full control over your phone, no any company restrictions. It fully depends on the user on how to use their phone. That means you can edit the system files, customize your phone, and much more. Also, I'm trying to use very less technical terms as much as possible, which will probably help you understand a bit better. So now on to the next topic, which is how does routing increases your phone's performance. Honestly speaking, routing itself will not increase your phone's performance. In fact, there will be a 0% increase on your phone's performance, but what routing does is it opens the gates for various customizations. We can configure the phones according to our will. It'll be like a Lego where we can add different items to make it better. Routing will make it easy for the users to customize their phones. With route, we can install different modules like better thermals, better touch response, and also it makes it easy to boost the CPU and GPU clock speed. And some of you are probably thinking that is there a way to increase the phone's performance without routing? And actually there is, and it's really complicated and worth it at the same time. But more about that later. Now the third and the most important topic is what are the risks of routing. So if you ask the same question to a root user, then obviously they'll say it's not that of a big deal. But if you ask the same question to a non-root user, then for them it's like playing with fire. It's risky. Even for me, before actually rooting my phone, I thought this was really dangerous and I could literally break my phone at any time during the process. But the reality is a bit different. Yes, it's risky, and yes, it's also illegal if you use it for the wrong purposes, but for a normal user who just wants to edit some system files and modify their phone, then it's totally safe. Now talking about the actual risks of routing, then there are in fact several high risks, and the main one being your phone can get bricked. The process of routing is actually really simple, but in order to start the process, we need a custom recovery on our phone, and that in fact is the risky part. During the process, at any time your phone can get bricked, either soft brick or hard brick. Some can be fixed by ourselves, but for some, you need to rely on the service centers. Obviously, you will have to pay some amount to fix that, but it can also be free if you still have the warranty left. But if you do all the steps correctly, then you're good, nothing will happen, it'll be fine. But keep in mind that there'll always be such risks when we try to play with the stock version of our phone. The next topic is if you're willing to root, then what should you do? Firstly, you'll have to make sure that your phone has enough developer support. For that, you simply want to go into Google and type your phone's name space XDA developers. Then you need to tap on the first link and then scroll down until you find this section. Tap on it and scroll down. If there are several projects for your phone, then there is a good developer support for your phone, and if there isn't much, then you should just rely on some YouTube videos, which will again increase the risks. So now what you want to do is go into YouTube and first search about how to unlock bootloader space your phone, and then watch several videos. Make sure you've watched enough videos until you're 100% confident with it. Why I'm telling you this is because these processes are different for every phone. Only the basics are same, and the process in each is very different. So after that, you want to search about how to flash custom recovery on your phone. Then again repeat the previous step, go on through multiple videos and try to understand every little thing. Then do the same for how to root your phone with TWRP.
TWRP here is a custom recovery. Watch some videos and then be confident over that topic. You have to remember that you need to do research on each topic. There will not be one video which will work for every phone. Now the fifth part, which is my personal experience on rooting. For me, rooting is basically just customizing the phone and increasing the performance. Even I was totally against rooting, but later my phone got totally destroyed from a really high fall. I had to repair it, and then there were some very serious problems like overheating, coarse touch, etc. But still, rooting was not what I wanted. But later, one guy out of nowhere messaged me on Instagram. He said he could help me root my phone, and I was like, nope, I wouldn't risk it. But later, he explained me everything about the risks and how my phone's performance could be better. We literally talked for hours, and finally, I did it. He guided me through each and every step. We both had the same phone, so it was not that hard for him to explain the process. Even though we were from different countries, I could understand his instructions with ease. And finally, after 2 days of work, we got everything right and my phone was rooted. Honestly, without him, I could literally never do it. Elite Reviews Whitey. Bro, if you're watching this, then thank you so much for your insane support. Even till today, if I get into some problems in these stuffs, then I always ask him for help.
And he always helps me fix it.
So yeah, thank you for being such a good friend. So fortunately for me, I had someone who was an expert in these stuffs. And for you, if you could do a brief research on the steps, then you can do it yourself. And if you find someone who is an expert on it, then it will be a lot easier for you.
Now for the last topic, which is who should root and who should not. So firstly, if your phone has enough developer support, then only start the process. Otherwise, there might be some problems and you will not be able to fix it. First, think about why do you want to root your phone. Is it actually a necessity, or you just want to play games with better frames? Or simply you want to play Fortnite in 60 or 90 FPS? If that's the only reason, then you have to think twice before considering this. Just think for a while. Is it actually worth it for a game which is not even optimized well for Android? Is it even worth the risk when your phone is not even 1 year old and it's working fine for every other tasks? Just think about it first. If you ask me, then what I'll suggest is if your phone has at least 4 GB of RAM and a processor equivalent to Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 or above, then only consider rooting. Because yes, rooting can increase the performance of your phone, but that extra performance comes at a cost, and that cost is overheating and a risk of your phone getting bricked. So I just want to say, think about this and decide what's best for you, because only you know how important your phone is for you. And for those of you who plays on a phone which barely supports 30 FPS and can't even go above low or medium graphics, then just don't think about rooting. It's the game which is not optimized for low-end devices. The problem is not with your phone, okay? So just throw this idea of rooting out of your brain. Now there's one last topic left, which is how to increase the phone's performance without rooting. And even this is for the people who are willing to root their phone, because it requires almost all the steps that are needed to root a phone. And this is none other than installing a custom ROM. If you really want to increase the performance of your phone or completely want to change the way how your phone looks and works, then you can go for this too. But first, you have to make sure that there is the developer support for your phone. And on that note, I'll wrap up the video. I hope you guys got all your queries answered, and still if there are some, then leave a comment below. Enjoy this awesome Victory Royale gameplay, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching.